been an amazing day so far. Once again, I'm William Brangham, and we're here in our final hour of American Graduate Day. We're continuing our discussion on career and college readiness. Our next group began with an impromptu promise. It was June 21st, 1981, and Eugene M. Lang, a successful New York entrepreneur, was invited to speak to the 6th grade graduating class at his alma mater in East Harlem. When he heard from the principal that 3/4 of the students would probably not graduate high school, Mr. Lang made an impromptu change in his speech and promised college tuition to every student in the class who completed high school. Since then, more than 200 I Have a Dream programs have operated in 29 states, serving more than 15,000 students, or as they call them, Dreamers. Joining us today in the studio to tell us about this great program are a graduate of the original 1981 Dreamer class, Alma Ceballos, sponsor and chairman of I Have a Dream New York, Jeff Gurail, and his dreamer, Zaira Benjamin. Thanks very much to everyone for being here.
Thank you.
Alma, we have a picture back from 1981 of that first graduating class. You were 12 years old. That's you standing right there next to the teacher. I wonder, do you remember that day and the importance of what was revealed to you about this promise?
That day, when the promise was announced, I was very excited. Before Mr. Lang came into my life, I was struggling in school. He offered us with personal tutoring, reading, writing, and math workshops. I immediately saw a change in my grades in the first quarter of 7th grade.
Is that right? That quickly?
That empowered me. I continue to be focused in school, and within a few weeks before my 9th grade graduation, the teacher announced that I was the class valedictorian.
That's amazing.
It's a very overwhelming feeling. I was the first in my family to break the cycle. I graduated from high school. I went on to college, and I had a son who, with my commitment and drive that I learned through Mr. Lang, today he also has a bachelor's degree.
So that seed that was planted in you has now passed on to him.
Correct.
So Jeff, Eugene approaches you with this crazy idea of sponsoring a class. Why, when you first heard about this idea, why did you take this on? Why did you think this was an important thing to do?
Well, because I think we have to level the playing field. And I admired Mr. Lang and what he had accomplished, and I thought I would take it on. It's really worked out better than I ever thought, to be honest.
Is that right?
Absolutely. The best thing I've ever done. You know, when you give money to a charity, in most cases, you know that you're helping someone, but you don't know who you're helping. But in this case, I know exactly how all these kids have turned out for the most part. And I continue to stay in their lives. I feel that I'm like a surrogate father. And that was Gene Lang's idea, really. He wanted these kids to know that there was someone there that they could pick up the phone and call.
Zaira, explain a little bit about the role that Jeff has played in your life.
Jeff has been phenomenal throughout some of my hardships. When I was 12, unfortunately, I was taken away from the program area. My family became homeless and we had to move to another borough. And so Jeff automatically understood that struggle that I had to go through. And knowing that I had this backing empowered me to move forward, know that my situation was temporary and that I would eventually come out of it. And just continually having his support kept me strong in that situation. So I moved on.
So you think the knowledge that there was that support for you helped you get through this?
Definitely. Because I mean, I had my mother, I had a small family unit here, but they weren't able to empower me in the same ways because they didn't have the same resources. He was always available to me. So that support was great.
Jeff, I'm just curious, why do you think of it as important to not let people like Zaira fall through the cracks?
Because I think it's good for our society. I mean, you know, we need these kids to break out of the cycle of poverty that they grew up in. And she's always been special because, you know, here's a young lady that was in a homeless shelter and now has a master's degree from Fordham and is working at one of the finer hospitals in the city. How many people can say when they leave this world that they changed somebody's life?
Is there anything you've never told him in all your communications that you'd like to say?
If I haven't said it enough, I am forever grateful for everything that he's done for me, and he's been an amazing mentor as a businessman, as a person. He's very kind and giving. He has a very big heart, and I think that it just reflects on me.
Thank you all very, very much for sharing your stories and for being with us here today. Oh, and by the way, 90% of Mr. Lang's original 1981 Dreamer class went on to receive high school diplomas, and 60% pursued higher education. Make a difference. Go to AmericanGraduate.org to connect with I Have a Dream online and learn how you can support them in your community. Become an American Graduate Champion. Please stay with us for the final half hour of American Graduate Day.
American Graduate Day, a live nationwide outreach event